Alright guys, hello, another video for you all. More content on X-Wing Virtual Machine and Voice Attack. I've done a few videos on this and some of you getting very excited. You didn't know Voice Attack was a thing and you could get stuff done in your games and software by speaking. So you get excited, I get motivated to do more with this profile I want to share for free with the community. It's been basic up until now. We're going to get a little bit more advanced with the commands, but also I want to add in droid sounds. So not only is this going to be useful, it's going to feel very immersive. It's going to feel like I'm actually chatting to the Astro-Mech in my starfighter. Voice Attack will confirm commands I've given it by doing an impersonation of R2-D2. Sounds sampled straight from the movies and the Star Wars games. If you want to see it in action, you can skip ahead, use the timestamps to me doing the testing later in the video. But we do need to talk things through a little bit first. So there's actually a few ways I can do this. In this video I'll show you like the quick and dirty way. There's a more convoluted way. I could actually do individual sounds for each command. That's quite a lot of work, and I'm sure there'll be a few other ways I could do it as well if I put my thinking cap on and actually did my homework. But probably one of the first things I need to point out in Voice Attack is if we do that spanner icon for the Voice Attack options, the first tab we've got general, and it does say there the sounds folder, so you can specify it. For me, it's C program files, brackets x86, shut the brackets, Steam apps common, Voice Attack sounds. I mean, it's really dug deep in there. But for you, you might have installed Voice Attack to a different driver, or it could be a different folder. So this could be a problem, and I want to share a folder, XWVM, with you all, but with the profile, it's expecting all of these sounds to be in a certain place. So if your location isn't the same as mine, it might not work, and you need to know how to adjust things to get it working. So let's head into my profile, do the edit. And as I said, up until now I kept things very basic, and I did that for a reason, because I wanted people that are new to Voice Attack to easily understand what to say, and I wanted you to be easily add your own commands to make it your own to the profile. But if you look at it now, it's very different. You think, oh, some of these phrases make sense, eject, 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 but a lot of the other ones have changed. I'm using brackets and semicolons with gay abandon. They're all over the place. What the hell is going on? So one of the first things is at the bottom we've got import commands, and there's this dot and the single line. You on your copy of Voice Attack might have the 3 dots, the 3 lines. You see how it changes the phrasing of it. So let's make sure we've clicked on that and we've got the dot with the single line, and let's explain what's going on. The first column is our spoken command, our phrase, what we say to get something done, and I have divided them out into categories. So if you want to know something about the weapons, you look for the weapons category. If it's targeting, you look for the targeting category, and so on. The second column is the description, basically tells you what will happen if you say what's in the first column. The final column is the action. So this is what Voice Attack will do, what buttons it's going to press when it recognizes the spoken command. So let's now explain. I think they call it dynamic actions or dynamic commands. Don't quote me on that. But I've changed the formatting of the spoken commands, which makes things a little bit easier to read when you know how. So let's give an example of a command and cool things we can do. Right, so we've got a mission and they want us to destroy a Star Destroyer. So we jump in, we say next objective, which is a command, and it targets the Star Destroyer, and we think we need to destroy that. We will save that as target 1, and that's a command. But we've got to deal with some TIE fighters first, so closest target, that's a command. We can save that as target 2, and then I can say I'm on the leader, my wingman will ignore it. And I say next target, that will be that target's wingman. I can say save as target 3, attack my target, wingmen go after that. I can say recall target 2, I go back to the leader. When they're destroyed, a little bit of time's gone by and we can think, well, I wonder what's happened to that Star Destroyer. Target 1, we go back to that target. We can see the Y-Wings have taken out its shields, they've done their strikes, and we can come in with torpedoes now and destroy the targets. Yeah, okay, we've done a little bit of flying with our thumbs or our hands with a joystick and pulled the triggers, but a lot of it we were able to do with our voice, and hopefully R2-D2 was chatting back to us, and we felt, really awesome doing that. So let's explain these spoken commands and how they're edited now. So to save the target as number 1, I've opened up the brackets and I put the word save, and we do a semicolon, space for a new word which is set, and we do semicolon, space for a new word which is store, semicolon, space for a new word that's, and I close the brackets down. For this phrase, I can start it with any one of those 4 words. It's up to me. We'll then do space, we'll open the brackets, and we've got the word as, which we then put in the semicolon and close the squared brackets off. Now, by putting that semicolon at the end before we close the brackets, it's actually made that word optional. You can say it if you want, or you can just omit it. You don't have to say it at all. And then we've got space and target 1. So target 1, it's the constant. It's always going to be used in this phrase. The more basic way of us doing this command would have been to do save target 1, semicolon, space, set target 1, semicolon, space, store target 1, semicolon, space, that's target 1. We've just typed out target 1 a lot of times when we really didn't need to, and it has ultimately made it more confusing the more phrases we're trying to put in. So the way this is formatted, once you know how to read it, it makes a lot of sense. So we can see if I want to recall the target that I've saved for target 1, we've opened up the brackets, we've said display, recall, show, but now I've put that semicolon at the end of those 3 words. So these have now become optional. I can say display target 1, recall target 1, show target 1, or if I'm really in a hurry, I can just say target 1. So we've got it edited around a little bit differently. So if I want to clear what I'm targeting, get it out of the computer, we've put the word clear, space, opened up the square brackets, target, semicolon, space, targeting computer, put in that semicolon at the end again, closed off the square brackets. So now I can just say clear, whatever's on the screen will disappear, we're not targeting it anymore, or I can say clear target, or I can say clear targeting computer. Why do I have so many phrases just to get one specific action done? Well, variation's good. You might actually have your partner, your girlfriend, your wife, whoever it is who shares the room with you when you're playing, and you don't want to be bombarded with pillows and cushions because she's fed up of you saying the same thing over and over again like a parrot. I had one of my viewers and subscribers say that I'm very good at remembering my phrases in Voice Attack that I've added much better than he is. He said he ends up doing this command that Voice Attack talks back to him to remind him what the phrases are. I don't know, but I think maybe the secret is that I do have different ways of getting the same thing done. So if we want to do something on a gamepad, you've got to remember what each button does. If you want to do it on a keyboard, you have to remember what each key does. And there's not a lot of help unless you go into the game controls and check them, or you've got a manual, a cheat list. But in real life, you know what you want to do, and you'd know how to ask someone, and you'd know how to tell someone to do what you want. So the same applies in Voice Attack. As long as you phrase it in a way that logically makes sense to you, I want to boost the shields. So that's the expression, boost shields. Or in the movies, they call them deflectors double front. So I'll say set deflectors double front, and that will put the shields focused in front of me. It's easy to remember it when it's logical what it's supposed to do. So hopefully now you can read these commands and you can edit them, have a go at doing these advanced formatting techniques. Right, so let's get on to implementing the droid sounds. We mentioned that these are all done into categories, and I've done a new category called Voice Attack. And I've thrown in a few commands. So we've got disable voice attack listening. You don't actually have to say voice attack. You can just say disable listening or enable listening. So if you're streaming on Twitch or YouTube, you can give that voice command to have voice attack ignore you and start listening again. What I've also done is add in this extra command. So we'll click on it. So when I say play random droid sound, which I will never say, but I've got to create the command, it will play a random sound from a directory. So let's show how we set this up. So we type in whatever our phrase we want it to be, and then we're going to do other. And then under sounds, you could say something with text to speech. You could type it in. Now, of course, today we're getting much more used to AI voices that sound more natural than text-to-speech, which are very robotic. We can play a sound, play a file, which has got the noise, but we could also play a random sound, so have it pick from a collection of sound files. So I've already said about there being variation would be good, so let's do that. Let's have it choose to play a random sound each time it confirms. So let's click on that. So it says do it from a selection list. Right, we'll go down to where it says a directory, or I could call it a folder, and we'll choose it. So we've got this long line and then the three dots at the end that we click on. And it's defaulting. Do you remember where I said at the start where that sounds folder is when we went to the voice attack option? So it's in my Steam installation folder. So there's sounds, and here's that XWVM folder I'll ultimately share with you all. And as we open this up, this also has subdirectories. Why is it like this? About 5 years ago, there was a game that came out called Star Wars Squadrons. And there's HCS voice packs. They sell packs for voice attack pretty cheaply. And they did this chit chat feature. We could actually chat to the droid, but they couldn't give us the R2-D2 sounds because they can't sell Star Wars intellectual property. So I showed everybody how to modify it, do the custom sounds, and shared the R2-D2 noises. Now the way they decided to do it was have, you know, like worried noises, excited sounds, and break it down like that. So put the sounds into folders. So if it's worried, R2-D2's chirp sound very differently to what's in the acknowledged folders. Now I don't think I want him sounding overly worried or excited every time I give a command, so we'll just choose one of the random sounds from the acknowledged folder and we'll do OK. So that's OK, and we can check this is OK. So we'll do our description, so we'll type that in, play random droid sounds. We've got the category, so I've created the voice attack one. I've typed that in, that's voice attack. And there we go. We can do OK. Only executes once. What we need to do is apply it. And then at the top, we've got the options. I'll click on that. And we want the profile exec. So I've ticked this. Execute a command each time a command phrase is recognized. And we select. We've got a few of them, but you'll scroll down till you find that play random droid sound or whatever you created it to be. So there we go. And we do OK. Now we need to test it. R2, see what you can do back there. Damage report. Display mission goals. Full stop. Lock S4s in attack position. Clear. Save as target 1. Switch to targeting computer. I'm on the leader. Works well. So the only thing that I'm not really happy about with this method is once I give the wingman commands, I've still got R2-D2 chatting back to me. I'm not actually talking to R2-D2 though, am I? I'm trying to talk to my wingmen and they're supposed to say, Roger, you know, ignoring target. So if we go back into the profile, I could technically hand pick a single sound for each of these spoken commands. That's quite a lot of work. But if it's you know, R2, see what you can do back there, I can pick one of those sounds from the worried folder. It's going to be a very different sound to what was in the acknowledged. Now the trouble is that I can't just, you'd think, well, yeah, you can just select multiple ones, can't you? And then just edit it and then choose a sound and have the same one for all of them. No, they don't let you do that, unfortunately. So it's a little bit more convoluted to get things done. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how we go. At least the way I've showed you does work. Let's do a demonstration in the game itself. Make sure my gamepad is turned on. I do have a joystick, but many of you will only have a gamepad. So I think what we'll do, I have muted the music, by the way, because, you know, obviously YouTube and copyright. I think what we'll do is the X-Wing historic mission number 2, which gives us some wingmen. And we'll try all kinds of different commands and just make sure R2 is talking back and the commands are actually working. Through the door, into the X-Wing, off we go. A couple of seconds for it to load. I'll just need to push a button on the gamepad. Next target. Set as target 1. Quad fire. Boost deflectors. Power to lasers. Target their attacker. I'm on the leader. Switch to targeting computer. 2/3 speed. Lock on. Match target speed. Closest enemy. 1/3 speed. Cover me. Accelerate to attack speed. Next target. I'm on the leader. Closest enemy. Save as target 2. He's mine. Target ahead. Attack my target. 1/3 speed. Switch weapons. Two-thirds speed. Fire. Switch weapons. Match target speed. Mission complete. Punch it. So there you go, guys. Works quite well, but we may change things in the future. So by all means, leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Any suggestions you might have for the profile before I share it. But have a great day. Have a great evening, whatever it is you choose to do after watching this. And as always, I will see you when I see you next. Ciao for now.